Good evening. I'm Farmer Ben with Olds Family Farm in the Promised Land CSA. I'm going to be cooking a little for you guys this evening. This is our first video of the season, and we're going to be in an outdoor kitchen. Welcome to our outdoor kitchen. Here, we're not at the farm, we're actually at home today. So Sunday evening, cooking a little supper. We got some burgers on the smoker, and we're going to prep a few vegetables and throw them on the grill. Cook outside in the heat of the summer. So this is a little sneak peek. This is week 2. No, this is week 3. Week 3 share box. We got some salad greens. We got some Swiss chard. We got some dino kale. We got some fennel. And what's in the bottom of the box? We've got some green garlic. So we're going to start out with our green garlic tonight. So we're going to cheat. We're just going to cut a rubber band. Chef tip: always work with a sharp knife. Couple swipes on whatever sharpener you got. Keep it sharp, works so much better. So I like to start by just cutting off the little root hairs there. We're going to do 3 of these guys tonight. Cut those guys off, clean off your cutting board, okay? And then we're going to peel one leaf off. One that's packed in the box. Usually gets a little drier, so we're going to expose that leaf. There's clean leaves underneath. Now, green garlic is a lot like scallions. You can use it just like you would a scallion. The biggest thing is it's going to have a garlic bite to it. So, depending how much you like garlic, how much you like heat, put in more or less. If you've got a recipe that calls for garlic and you're cooking with garlic, feel free to use this to substitute. The white part is going to be hotter, the green part is going to be milder. So depending how much heat, garlic zip you want in your dish, use more or less of that. So when you got a big bulb like this, I like to cut it right in half, and then when you go to slicing it, you don't get such big pieces. We're going to throw this on a cast iron pan on the grill and just kind of sear it off a little bit, and this is going to go on top of our salad. So we're going to cut these in little medallions, and some of them will fall apart, some of them will stay together. Like I said, you can use as much or as little of the top as you want. Go up as high into the green as you would like. Green pieces are just as tasty as the white pieces, and they'll give some more texture as well. We eat with our eyes, so the prettier you can make everything, the better it's going to taste, obviously. So by cutting it on a slight angle, it gives you that appearance of a fancier vegetable per se. A little more surface area. Anytime you're cooking and you get more surface area, that's where you get some more of your flavors. So when you're cooking a steak and you sear it off, all that outside crust is where the flavor is. So it's the same thing with your vegetables, whether you're cooking them in a roasting pan, on the grill, surface area. Now, depending on what you're cooking, if we were last week and we had asparagus in our share box, we would prep our asparagus first because those bigger pieces are going to take a little bit longer than this garlic to cook. So we would cook that down first and then throw this on about halfway through. That way this wouldn't burn or turn to mush. We'll set this over here, grab our pan off the grill. We preheated our pan, cooking outside using the grill. So we're going to put this guy in here. Now you can use whatever sort of oil you want. Olive oil is what we're using tonight. Goes good with the salad. I like to start with olive oil and then add some butter later, depending on what we're cooking with. This is already nice and hot. Now we're going to add some more flavor to it. So this is a homemade blend. Salt, pepper, and garlic. We've already got the garlic, but it's already a throwaway blend. So we're just going to add some of that in there. Salt is your friend. It's everything so much better. And coarse black pepper. So we're going to stir this up a little bit. And we'll set it back on the grill and let it cook while we prep our greens for our salad. Fancy pot holder, I know. cooking down. We're going to get our greens out of our share. These guys are triple washed. We cut them early in the morning so the sun hasn't got on them yet. It makes them so much fresher. The shelf life is so much better. You can tear them by hand. You can use a knife to cut them, whatever you want. I just like to tear them by hand into pieces, depending what your size of your humans are. We've got little humans, so we make smaller pieces sometimes. You can leave it big and more of a rustic salad. This bag of greens will feed our family of 9 and have a little bit of leftover, so we won't dress it all. I'm only going to probably use about half, 2/3 of the bag tonight. Okay, so that's all shredded up nice. And then the beauty of it is that olive oil we use, that's going to be our dressing. I'm not going to have to add anything more to it. Now, in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, it's going to go really good on this is fresh cherry tomatoes. We don't have those yet, but they are coming. That's going to go really good. Some people like to add some salt and pepper to the lettuce. Like I said, we already added that to their green garlic, so we're going to do that last. One thing we're going to add to this week's share box, we're going to go in here, is some Swiss chard. We're going to do this for a pop and for some color in our salad. So again, kind of like we were speaking with the asparagus, if we were to put this in right away, it would melt down too far. So we're going to put this in at the very end. It's just going to wilt down. It's going to add another layer to our salad. And like I said, the red stems of this rainbow chard are just going to give a nice pop. And we're going to leave the top pretty coarse, but the bottom, these pieces, we're going to mince them down pretty fine, kind of like we were that green garlic. So it's got texture, but not too much, not too big a piece. Now, if you're a Swiss chard lover and you want that big bite of chard, go for it. We're more adding diversity to our salad without intimidating our young eaters. So we're going to mix this up a bit. See how our little pieces are already starting to brown off and our bigger pieces are still keeping their color. Looking nice. Okay. Preheating the pan makes a big difference when you start out with a warm pan. So we're going to add in the stems, add in our tops. Add a little bit more oil. And a little more seasoning. Mix these guys together. Now, this is a lot like cooking your spinach you had all winter. Hopefully you had a winter share and enjoyed the spinach. This Swiss chard is going to melt down to almost nothing, but it's going to give just that extra color and layer to our salad. So it's been a minute or two. We've had the Swiss chard cooking down with our green garlic here, and it's minced down really nice. That's about what we want it. We're going to soften those stems a bit, wilt those tops down. That's looking good. We're going to give another minute. Want these stems to be a little bit tenderer. Come back and check on it. We're all set here with our salad fixings. Everything's wilted down nicely. Only cameras could smell. Smell that garlic coming through. So we got our salad. We already shredded up a bit. We're just going to rake this right over the top. Like I said, this is going to be our dressing, our topping to it. Just going to give that a little toss. Now, if you want to leave that for presentation to serve everybody, but we make plates here at our house, so we're going to plate this up and we'll be right back with you. So we've got our salad we made up. We cooked up some burgers on the smoker to go along with it. So we got our fresh greens, we got our Swiss chard and green garlic cooked down in there. House-made bun, can't beat that. So let's try this and see how we did. See if we need to add a little more salt or pepper or anything. That garlic comes through so nice. The texture you get a little bit from that Swiss chard, without that overpowering. Very tasty. And the only thing to make this better is you put that salad right on the burger and eat it all in one bite. So, thank you for watching. Until next week, this is Farmer Ben. Enjoy cooking, especially if it's outside.